see if it's the MSW coach. And I'm going to type a comment. If you're watching a replay, just skip ahead a few seconds. What we're going to talk about, I want to know, do you feel like you don't know what you should be doing in your career right now? I'm typing a comment and then we're going to get into this conversation. Do you feel like you know what exact steps you should be taking in your career right now? That is the question that I want to know. Well, the answer that I want to know, but that's the question we're going to explore, because I'm going to share with you 3 reasons why you feel like you don't know what steps you should be taking in your career right now. Because little do you know, it's not entirely your fault, right? However, there are some steps that you need to be taking to correct the problem. And it is possible to know what steps you need to be taking. I just got out of a Zoom call with several social workers, talking to them about my new macro social work career incubator. It's a 5-week program that I've released. We actually start tomorrow, and registration closes tonight. And it's where I'm going to be teaching my 30-day action planning system, where I teach social workers how to get quick wins in their career in 30 days or less. And so one of the things that one of the social workers brought up is, and I said, I'm going to borrow that. She said it so beautifully. She was like, I don't know what steps I should be taking in my career. And I was like, ooh, I love the way she explained that, because how I normally verbalize that is by saying, like, you feel all over the place in your career. And I wanted to share 3 reasons why you too probably feel that way in your career, so you can understand that it isn't necessarily because you picked the wrong degree program. Let me move my camera down some. It isn't necessarily because you picked the wrong degree program, or you made the wrong choice about an internship, or you didn't get a certain certification or a specific license. It largely is because you did not learn the fundamentals, or were not taught the fundamentals on how to effectively navigate your career, which is an important piece of surviving in the job market. Because we know by just watching the world and listening to the things that are going on around us, the job market is oftentimes volatile. I did a whole presentation a few years ago as a part of my PhD program where I talked about VACA. I forget the acronym right now, what it means, but it is, let me pull it up, because look, I want to connect this. VACA is a term that's used in military situations. And so basically it means like the often unpredictable VUCA, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Is short for volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. It's normally used in relationships to like military scenarios. However, I did a presentation a few years back to a group of professors, researchers, policy advocates in a higher education institution around the importance of teaching students and college students about career readiness, right? Because the job market is so volatile. It's so uncertain. It's so complex. It's so ambiguous. One profession right now that's the cream of the crop can be outdated tomorrow. And so when students are not getting the requisite career readiness, that's what we call it in workforce development, career education, training, career readiness. When students are not getting these critical conversations, it then leaves you where you are right now in your career, out in the job market, feeling like a fish out of water, because you don't know how to adjust based on your degree type, based on your interests, based on your skill sets, based on your experience. So where higher ed is now is that they're realizing, and this is fast forward to today, higher education institutions, colleges, and universities are realizing like we've been doing students a disservice. Yeah, we have the career center over here. Yes, they can come into the thing. However, in order to improve our employment outcomes, to improve our graduation and retention outcomes, we need to start infusing more early career readiness conversations into students' degree journey early on. Like, so instead of waiting until junior year to go visit the people in the career center, and freshman year, they're going to start exposing students to conversations about career development, career planning, around how to really strategically map out your career and design a career pathway for yourself that evolves over time so that you steadily progress. So I share that to say that you feeling like you don't know what steps to take into your career present day as a graduate, as a person that's walking around in the job market, most likely has been in the workforce for more than 10 years, is not a result of you making a bad decision. It's a result of you not having enough information to make well-informed, sound decisions about your career. And most likely it originated in your higher education days due to your institution not prioritizing the thing. But we ain't gonna get too far on that, right? I'm trying not to point the finger. Oh, Miss says that's me. Thank you for the input. Yeah, and so I wanted to like come in and talk real technical for a moment to really explain to you all that it's not you. Right? It's because you didn't get the thing. And so I wanted to explain why you did not get it, right? And so I want to give 3 reasons around why you did not get it and why it's so important for you to now fix the problem. Right? We've identified that it's a problem. Higher ed is admitting that it's a problem and it's something they need to work on, because if you look at the data, if you pull some scholarly research, if that's your thing, I love to read data. I love to look at the numbers. I love to look at the populations they're looking at and things like that. If you look at the data, a large percentage of college graduates are not going directly into the job market. There's a huge disconnect, right? They completely walk off of the face of the earth. And I believe it's largely attributed to, based on what I've learned over the last 4 or 5 years working with college students, working with degree professionals, is because you all don't know how to navigate the job market. Ms., yes, I need to know how to fix this problem. Okay, Ms., thank you. Ms. is ready to work. So let's jump into these 3 reasons why. So I kind of explained it earlier, but I want to jump into it again, and I want to wrap it up with how you fix the problem. So again, I kind of already touched on 1 and 2. This is what I do. I get real excited about the thing. But the first reason is because college does not teach you the fundamentals of your career, right? I talked about that earlier. College teaches you, it prepares you for the job, to do the job, to handle the complexity of the job, right? It's a job training, and it ain't even technically a job training program because they're not training you for a very specific job. Like if you go to a technical college is preparing you for a very specific job, to be an auto mechanic, to be a bookkeeper, to be an LPN, a licensed practical nurse. They're training you for a very specific job. But again, they're training you. And that's the same thing for college, a 4-year university, a 2-year community college. They're training you in soft skills and maybe even hard skills, how to do the job once you get the job, right? However, what it does not do is it does not prepare you for getting the job. Like how the mechanics on how do you even get a job where I can use these soft skills and these hard skills that I've learned. So what happens is you walk in, I'm rolling in reason 1 and 2 together. So just ride with me for a moment. What happens is once you get in the job market and you have your degree or your multiple degrees, because many of you who follow my work, you have multiple degrees. You have multiple bachelor's degrees. You have multiple master's degrees. Many of you even have doctorate degrees, right? So what happens is when you get in the job market and you're like, I got my piece of paper, hire me, right? And then you hear crickets and you don't get interviews, you don't get callbacks. Maybe you get an interview, but you don't get a job offer. The reason why is because your institution, your place of learning, did not prepare you with the fundamentals on how to get jobs. They only prepared you to do a job, right? But the type of job you get, unless you went to a technical college, the type of job you get and how you get the job and how you keep the job and how you progress up the career ladder is up to you to learn, up to you to figure it out. That's why so many professionals are in their jobs for 10, 20, 25 plus years, and then they get to the end of 20 years and they're like, I hate my job. It's like, you sat in a job for 20 years and you hated it. And they're like, yeah, because I didn't think I could get anything else. I didn't know what else was out there available for me. I didn't know what else was there for me to do. That's why you see so many people later in their career really begin to thrive. Once they have made some money and they can like afford to go run out in the wild, in the wind and do what they really, really want to do, it's because now they have the money to do the thing. But before, they didn't know how to really tap into that, right? So I want to say that the first two reasons why you feel like you don't know what you should be doing in your career right now is because your college, their scope of work is not designed to teach you that. That's not a part of it. They're prepared. They're there to teach you the soft skills, the hard skills to do a job. The second reason is because learning. And again, the second reason is like their scope of work is around just teaching you the complexities of doing a job, of if it's tech, how to get a tech job. And it's more so around the concepts and the frameworks rather than the how-tos. The how-tos is something that you learn on the job, with a job training, with new hire training. So even higher ed is not preparing you with how to do the job. And that can get us into a whole nother conversation around confidence, right? I talked to so many social workers. Actually, I was talking to one of my coaching clients early this week in an office hour session, and we were strategizing about what area macro she's going to go in based on her interests. And she was like, I'm afraid I don't know how to do that, even though she has 10 plus years of like relevant experience. And I'm telling her, and I'm like, no one goes into a job knowing exactly how to do it. That's the purpose of training. And yes, as you move up the ladder progressively, the less and less training you get. Like the more dollars you get paid, the more you're being paid to figure it out on your own. That's why you went to college, to learn how to think critically, how to use your resources to pull together strategies and techniques that work best for you. But on the basic level, jobs will train you. So again, why I say this goes into a whole nother conversation about confidence is that many of you go into your job search not looking at all of your possible options, thinking, I don't know how to do the job 100%, so I'm not going to apply. But that's why they have new hire training. Look at my face. I'm being serious. Ms. says, I'm a social worker. Okay. Ms., that's how I feel. 18 years of experience and my confidence is not where it should be, but I'm also burnt out from the field. Yes, that's very real, Ms. It gets better. It gets better. That's what I'm going to say about that. It gets better. So the third reason, because I kind of rolled in 1 to 2 and I gave y'all I talked earlier about the thing. The third reason why you feel like you don't know what you should be doing in your career is what I talked about earlier. The onus is on you, okay? Higher ed has admitted this problem, right? That's why they're making a huge shift this year and going forward to embed this career readiness approach in their efforts. If they're really truly invested in like their outcomes, they are, right? So the third reason is because you have not taken the necessary steps on your own outside of your degree to learn what you should, and I'm looking at my notes, to learn what you should do to get the job you want and strategies to survive in this ever-changing job market. So what that means is that many people think that me learning how to navigate the job market, me learning the fundamentals of career readiness, remember that term I used earlier, is the equivalent of getting another degree, getting a certification, getting some type of training, right? So that's how you get to the point of you have all of these certifications and different things and certificates stacked up, but you still are in a job that you hate. It's because an education program does not equal teaching, is not supposed to teach you how to get jobs. That's what career readiness is for. That's what working with me, a career coach, is for. I teach you how to take the education that you've gotten from that institution because they've done their job. Again, they're not a workforce development system. They're an education system. So they did their job. They educated you. They gave you the education you need. You developed the soft skills, maybe the hard skills for my clinical social workers to do a job. Now, to get a job is in a whole nother system. That's in the workforce development system. That's where I'm at. That's what I specialize in, macro work. I've done it for over 10 years, right? This is where you have to come over to this system. We know our systems are separate as social workers. You have to come over to this system and spend time learning about career readiness, which is what job opportunities are out in the world based on my interests, based on my skills, my experience, my education, even my geographical region. That's another thing. Many of you are taking these very generic, universal career strategy tips and techniques from people who live in major cities, and you live in rural America. I know, because I lived in a very rural town for many, 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 many years. So I can't listen to what someone who's saying that's in New York City or in California, because the jobs are scarce where I live. I have to do things a little bit different. So career readiness teaches you how to tailor strategies based on your situation to get a win in your career. So I say all that to say this: how you fix the problem. I created a 30-day action system. I ran it in a program back in December with a group of social workers. It was 5 of them that came consistently from beginning to end. I created a 30-day action system with them, where in 3 steps in 30 days, I taught them the basics of career readiness, which is the steps that they should be taking in their career so they can know what they need to be doing now and in the future. As a result of that, all 5 of them had a career win. One of them is Kendall. Kendall, in that 30-day period, she landed a macro job doing policy work after years of working as a medical social worker. She was beyond burned out. Kendall was so burned out, she left the job. I shouldn't say walk off. Kendall, if you're watching this replay back, I don't remember the full story, but she quit the job. She quit the job. I met with Kendall literally a few days after she quit the job, and I was like, hey, I'm going to start this program. I'm just going to be meeting with y'all. The focus is I'm going to be working with you on your confidence, because I see that's where a lot of social workers struggle. That's going to be the goal. However, once we got in the program, because I really didn't have it fleshed out, I just knew I'm going to work with them on their confidence. So we get into the program. In that program, I created a 3-step 30-day action system. I told Kendall play by play what to do, how to do it, the steps, right? We weren't talking in what ifs. We weren't talking in hypothetical situations. We weren't talking in theories and strategies and in very abstract terms like you do in higher ed. We were talking in real world concepts based on where Kendall lived, her geographical region, her desires, her goals, and what her expectations were for work. I gave Kendall a 3 action steps. Kendall did those 3 action steps in 30 days. And at the end of that 30-day, Kendall had not one, but she had 2 macro interviews and 1 macro job offer. She's now working as a policy macro social worker in a job doing work around her population and her issue. She's now making the most money she has ever made in her career lifetime. And she has been working well over 15 years. If we did a whole YouTube video, go click on the link in my bio and go look at it. Watch it back, run it back. She gives you the details about how it was so important for her to learn the fundamentals of what I taught in that 30-day action system, because at the base of it, what I'm teaching you is how to plan, right? And I know people talk about planning in very elusive terms, but planning is steps. Okay, I've done step 1. Now I need to do step 2. And when I do step 2 is going to get me here. And then by the time I do step 3, I'm going to be at my goal. Right now, for many of you, you may be doing your steps, but you're not actualizing it to anything, right? So you get one certification, get one degree, and then you're still in the case management job that you don't like, right? So it's not actualizing to an outcome. So I taught Kendall the fundamentals of how to assess what her career needs are, how to take the fundamentals that I'm teaching her around job searching, around career clarity, around interviewing, around uncovering her experiences that she has to get a macro job, and packaging that all up into an actionable system that works. My 30-day systems work. So Kendall was the first win. Then we had Kiera. Kiera is a multi-hyphenate social worker. Kiera came into the program. She loved everything, right? She's artistic, just like many of you are. Many of you are into the arts. Kiera loves the art. She loves creative writing. She loves to do leadership work. She loves to do public speaking, right? So as a part of being in the program, her 30-day goal was to get clarity around what it is that she really wanted to do, because she felt all over the place in her career. That's the way I explain it. Right? She felt all over the place. Kiera was doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm like, okay, we got to get focused just a little bit, right? So her goal was to get focused. So at the end of the 30 days, again, I gave Kiera the 3 steps. And these weren't 3 steps that I pulled out of the air. They weren't 3 steps that I read in a book. I didn't hear nobody else say it. These were 3 steps that were developed based off of her life, based off of her capacity, based off of her desires and goals. That's the other thing. You are doing things that are not applicable to your life. That's why it ain't working, right? You're in the Facebook groups and they telling you network for a macro job. And you're like, okay, network, but I don't know nobody. They're telling you to volunteer. And you go volunteer. We are all too grown to be volunteering anywhere. The next time you should be volunteering is when you're retired, right? We all have bills. We all have lives. We all have things. Even if you're a pet parent, you have something that you need to take care of. So we need to be paid. We need to be compensated for our work. We need to be compensated for our time. So if you don't take nothing else from this life, you should not be volunteering for nothing. You already have what you need. You are well experienced. You are the expert. You have knowledge and skills that can get you well compensated. And when I say well compensated, I'm not talking like your social work professor that tell you, oh, you can make good money in doing X, Y, Z. When I say well compensated, I mean 6 figures and up. You can get it. And you can do it with the degree that you already have. Okay, so going back to Kiera, because I got on my soapbox for just a moment on that one. Going back to Kiera. So with Kiera, I helped her get focused. So at the end of the 30 days, Kiera got clarity around what it is that she really wanted to do in her career and how she wanted that to look. Now the steps that Kiera is taking based off of that clarity and that planning work that we did, and the fact that I taught her how to plan for her career and the strategic steps she needs to be taken to get there, Kiera is on stage 2 of her career plan. She is now doing things to actualize what she created with her first goal achievement, which is around clarity, as opposed to before, Kiera was just all over the place. She was picking things and like just trying it. Oh, does it work? Oh, no, that didn't work. Now she has a strategic plan, and she's working towards a very specific goal, and she's almost there. And we've only been a few months out from it, as opposed to her just running around and picking things and trying them, and the next thing she looks up is 10 years later and she's still not where she thought she would be. Right? We also had Sophia in the program. Sophia went through the 30-day action system. Her 30-day goal was she wanted to show up more confidently as a leader. She wasn't a leader yet. Her job was in more of a support role. However, Sophia had ambitions of being a leader, securing a leadership role in her governmental agency. Okay, so we do the 30-day action system with Sophia. Again, we identified 3 steps, and the steps aren't necessarily easy steps, right? I have a system, and it's all designed, again, to strategically teach you how to career plan, but build your confidence. So for Sophia, confidence was a huge issue. Right? So Sophia, at the end of the 30-day period, Sophia's wins were that she is now been promoted to a leadership role. Remember, before she was just on the team. Now she's been promoted to a leadership role and she got a raise. And now she's on the second phase of her career plan, where she's actively working on another goal. I ain't going to share the goal because that ain't none of y'all business. But Sophia increased her confidence well above 200%, so much so that it resulted in her senior level executive leaders saying, wow, Sophia, you are really taking charge. What's going on? And her team members giving her feedback about her great leadership skills and the way she took control of a project that she had to roll out. All things that I supported her through in the 30-day action system in the program that I beta tested back in December, which I just released. And we start tomorrow, which is called the Macro Social Work Career Incubator. So in 30 days, Sophia went from a person where I don't want to be seen, I don't want to be heard. Sophia didn't even want to watch the replay back of her sharing out in a meeting, to now she's leading the meeting. She's leading press conferences with the mayors and with the other city leaders in her city. Sophia was even asked to be a presenter on a panel that she was paid for. Sophia said they paid her more for that 1-hour panel presentation than she makes in 1 week. And she lives in California. All as a result of the 30-day action system work that I did with Sophia and the confidence work that is a part of that. So I share that because career readiness is up to you. If you are in your career and you've been in your career longer than 2 years and you're walking around like, my school didn't prepare me, blah, 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 or the job market sucks, I need you to shift. I need you to click on the switch, and we need to have a growth mindset. Okay, we acknowledge that was something we missed out on. The people didn't give it to us, but what are we going to do now to fix the problem? And I have a solution for you. The 5th person that went through the beta program was Erica. Erica came through the program. She was like, I have been in social services leadership for over 20 years. She said, I'm tired. I'm ready to exit, but I don't really know what is next for me. Right? So the premise of my 30-day action system is to teach you the fundamentals on how to navigate your career when life changes, when the world changes, when the job market changes, when your social service agency or your private practice firm says we're closing or we're outsourcing and we no longer need you, or when you're laid off, right? These are the strategies that help you navigate over the time when your body changes, when your capacity changes, when your mental fortitude changes. You're like, I cannot listen to another person's problem. I need to focus on me. I am tired, because it will come. So for Erica, she was like, I want to make an exit from my job. I'm not really clear how to do it. I've always been in this job. I came into the field doing this job, and this has been my reality. I don't know what's next for me. So with Erica, Miss says me. means you got to come inside the incubator. I'm telling you, we create a plan. So for Erica, I taught her how to career plan. Y'all notice I keep talking about career planning, clarity, right? These are the things. I never once did I mention a resume, writing a resume. Never once did I mention job titles. So I taught Erica how to uncover and identify and create a plan of action that was realistic based on how she lives her life, right? Because you can go anywhere and pull down a retirement checklist or whatever the thing is and all of the things. I taught Erica how to uncover what it was that she was looking to achieve in the next 3 years. How soon would it be that she would want to make her exit? What would be the next things that she would be doing? Because technically Erica ain't to retirement age, but she's pretty close, but she wants to early retire. So not only did we plan for that, we planned for, okay, can this possibly then become a point in time where you start your own business, right? I don't talk about business development. I'm not a business coach. However, I do teach people how to transition out of the workforce and how to transition back into the workforce. So for like my stay-at-home moms, my people that have been on extended leave, I can help you career plan on how you will come back in. So for Erica, she created a plan of action, and she now has identified timelines, like steps that she's going to take to leave her position and then transition into her next phase of life, which is going to be major. She's going to be on the beach drinking tropical drinks in a swimsuit, right? But we also strategically created a plan for her to, if she decided to, come back in the job market and still know how to get top level positions, because she admitted that she stayed in her job for 20 years because she thought she couldn't get another job, and it was because she didn't have the career readiness skills. So I taught her the necessary skills that she needs, so that regardless of if she go to the beach and decide to stay there for 3 years and then come back, she will always be in demand, because there are things that you have to do proactively to position yourself to not become a dinosaur or to not become Blockbuster, right? We all know the Blockbuster story, and I'm only mentioning that because my Lyft driver was telling me about his career journey of being a manager at Blockbuster when Blockbuster like imploded from the inside out, right? So you don't become outdated. So you don't, I was going to use a specific word, so you don't just spend the rest of your time in the case management job. So those are the 3 reasons why. The solution is the 5-week macro social work incubator that I created. We start tomorrow. I only made 10 spots available at this point. I think I have like 3 spots left. Sign up. This is an opportunity to work with me, and it's only 1 step a week, and it gets results. I just ran down for you. It was only 5 people. All 5 of them had major wins, right? Wins that range from emotional wins, financial wins, focus, Sophia, confidence, whatever your thing is that you want. There's a win for you that can be achieved when you learn the fundamentals of navigating your career. But you cannot, and I broke down for you earlier, and if you're just coming into this live, go back and watch the replay. I broke down to you why you feel like you don't know what steps you need to be taking in your career, and it's because you have not been equipped with the information. And so the incubator is designed to teach you what you need to know to navigate this volatile job market, but also do it in the same time. So I'm not just going to be teaching you a course and then you don't implement it like in your degree program. We're going to be implementing it, what you're learning each week, in action steps, and the action steps get wins. So the link is in the bio. I have many ways for you to pay for it. So price is not a barrier for you, and it's only 5 weeks. Y'all got 5 weeks. You spend 10 weeks on those certification courses, on those certificates that's catching dust up on the top of your cubicle. You can do 5 weeks to learn something that you never learned before, to really get the jobs that you want. This is how my people get jobs. This is how I helped well over 160 plus social workers get macro jobs. It's because I'm teaching them the fundamentals, the readiness. This is why my people are on their second, third, fourth, fifth macro job. And I've only been doing this since early 2020. Right? I have Tasha. Tasha went from being a receptionist in a social service agency to now being a professor in a department of, I believe it's social work. It may be another department. It may be business at her university. And she does not have a doctoral degree. Right? She also is a philanthropic leader in higher ed. And it's because I taught her how to plan, how to take very strategic steps that actualize to money. We don't do stuff for free over here. Right? None of this stuff is volunteer. I have coaching clients who's being flown out by Harvard for job interviews who just 2 years ago were working on employee assistance hotlines as a new social work graduate. It's because I taught him the fundamentals, how to plan. Now he's being actively headhunted. Do you know what headhunting is? Actively sought out by higher education institutions, and he never worked a day in higher ed in his life until he worked with me, right? So many of you are living well below your potential. And it's because you don't have the information. And like I said earlier, higher ed has admitted recently, hey, we need to teach students career readiness. You think? I've been saying that for years. But again, it's because these systems are separate. That's a whole nother conversation of why we need macro social workers, because the systems need to talk to each other. We teach people in workforce development about career readiness, but the education system doesn't. But the link is in the bio. Join the incubator. Registration closes tonight. As a bonus, when you register tonight, today you get immediate access to my workshop that I've only done with my paid coaching clients on how to translate your experiences to non-social work employers. It's a game changer. I've only kept it behind like the paywall for my high ticket coaching clients. But I was like, I'll throw it in as a bonus. And you can start today uncovering what experience you have to get macro jobs. So Nick, Ms. says, how often do you run the classes? Nick, I think I'm going to run it every month. But don't hold me to that. Don't hold me. But every month. Because there's so many macro jobs out here, I'm gonna start saying in y'all face more about this. Okay, Speed said, I'm currently in grad school. Okay, congratulations. Oh, Speed said, I don't feel prepared because my BSW internship didn't teach me anything. I was basically a receptionist. Yeah, because it wasn't their scope of work. That's not what they're supposed to do. So now the onus is on you. Don't be the social workers. Look, let's have a heart-to-heart. Don't y'all be the social workers on the internet talking about my social work degree program didn't teach me how to get a job, didn't teach me how to run a business. Don't do that. The onus is on you. I just explained what their responsibility is. Now the responsibility is on you. I just named it for you. So now we got to do the thing. Ms. says, wow. Oh, Ms. says career clarity, that part. Ms., I love your engagement. All right. So every month for the most part, Ms., yes. Move your money around and join. But I have many different ways. I have Klarna. I have Afterpay. I have PayPal credit. I have PayPal monthly pay. Several of those options, if they have no interest, no credit check requirement, it's like a soft pull from the credit. Click the link in the bio. Visit macroandpay.com. Do your due diligence. The options are there. But either way that you decide to pay, you get immediate access to the how to translate your experiences to macro employers. And I'm telling you, I break it down. Like I simplify it so much for you that you will walk away from that workshop tonight having identified how to explain to non-social work employers what you do, right? How to translate that experience in a very easy way, and then which will then in turn teach you how to identify job opportunities in the job market beyond just a job title. All right. So the link is in the bio. Registration closes tonight at 11:59 p.m. Go check out the options to get you a win. Have a wonderful day. Happy macro career planning. Bye.